Some drivers are rough, can do it deliberately, and then you have the feeling that you are smashed forward. I often say they can better drive potatoes or something.
Okay, I see. 欢迎大家收看《老外不意外》只一台这个节目的主持人，我叫 David。
大家好，我是 PC。
而最近我们知道 Uber 这个事情闹得沸沸扬扬，前一阵子 Uber 也直接号召了司机以及乘客于420当天走上凯道，他们希望延缓这个法案的通过。所以今天我们想要来了解一下，在台湾生活的外国人对于 Uber 这件事情有什么看法。Which do you prefer, Uber or the taxi?
Uber. Because then I don't have to tell the driver the address. I just can put it in, so it's very easy.
I also enjoy that you don't have to have cash with you. You can just extract it from your credit card.
Right.
I feel safer also in Uber because it traces the location, everything.
And I think a consensus-based platform, like a platform that's based on reviews, similar to Airbnb, I think it just creates a better environment for consumers.
Just the thing that I've been scammed a lot with taxi, because I'm French and my Chinese is not that good. So obviously they just like try to scam you and they make like a big detour.
Like I feel like sometimes the taxi man would take advantage and they would charge a like fee. He's like, oh, but there's this fee because it's this time of the year, and I'm like, but why are you doing that? So I think like Uber prevents that from happening. It tells you like, okay, this is what you pay.
Some drivers are rough, can do it deliberately, and then you have the feeling that you are smashed forward. I often say they can better drive potatoes or something.
Taxis, sometimes you find many drivers who are eating ping lang or things like that.
大部分很好 but like once he was drunk, so I just went out. That was a bit scary. So I told him the address, and he was like graveyard and stuff like that. And I was like, no.
I use taxi.
Taxi.
Hey.
Oh, it's easy. So you don't want to use the app. Oh, it's easy.
You know, I'm studying Chinese here, so what I do is whenever I have to take a taxi, I try to always practice my Chinese. They're very welcoming, and usually that's how it is. You can find the uncle, the bobo there. They will try to tell me like a story.
Taxis most often. So it's pretty pleasant. It's just that when it's like real late at night, sometimes they like to run red lights a lot.
I like to take taxis more because you have more taxis, and I think it's very convenient. For me, it wasn't that unpleasant. It was maybe the smell of the cigarette and the vanilla inside the taxi, which is not very pleasant. But now I just don't go out, so I just like Cholu. The U-bike, it will be a bit impact if you take up a U-bike.
And is Uber legal in your country?
Yes, it is.
Yes, it's already one actually, and it's working everywhere where you are.
Is there ever a lobby from the taxi drivers?
I guess in Taiwan they're much more powerful, they have more clout. There's a debate, sure, but the taxi lobby doesn't have as much influence.
For the taxis in France, we're like protesting a lot because obviously Uber is like way cheaper than taxis.
They had it for a little bit, but then they took it out because it became a really big issue for the local brand, which is the taxis, right?
Not a fight, but if you ask a taxi driver about Uber, they never have positive opinions.
The people like Uber more for the prices as well. Because the normal taxis are outrageously high-priced, and the drivers are rude and not pleasant when you don't give them a tip at least.
They got bought out by Grab, which is the worst, literally the worst.
Why is that?
Uber was like a lot better. Like you could at least find drivers. With Grab, it's like you can never find a driver, especially during rush hour.
Uber 一出现，然后其他类似 Uber 的 app 一出现，他们就马上都转进这些 app.
In Switzerland, many taxi drivers are also Uber drivers, so they can definitely do both.
It was legal. Now I think that they banned it, but it's very polarized.
No, because the taxi drivers complaining about Uber and the German government forbid it. They're not allowed to use it.
Recently, they've actually capped where no new Uber drivers can be brought on because New York is a very heavily unionized town, and obviously the taxi drivers paid a lot for their medallion, and the government's trying to protect that.
So people are taking their sides. Which side do you think will be on?
I'd say I support Uber. In competition, there's evidence to show it always helps the consumers.
I think the competition is kind of a good thing because maybe the taxi driver have to improve how they work, like if they're clean, if they try to scam people or not.
I do agree in a way that they should protect the local companies, right? But if there is nobody to challenge that status quo, so we don't really have to go above and beyond. So I would say I would side more with having that challenge because I think it will benefit Taiwan more.
Compared to other countries, Taiwan taxi is pretty good, pretty cheap. It's good service. They don't cheat on us.
Like I feel like sometimes the taxi man would take advantage.
So I guess if in Taiwan there's no Uber, it will be alright.
Yeah, I would be against it. Like, what do you mean by fair competition, first of all?
You should like make a law that will benefit both. I think they can just come into an agreement. I don't think like it should be white or black, you know.
The Uber drivers are taxi drivers as well, so you shouldn't there's a different take on how to use taxis. So I think Uber and taxis can coexist.
I will take both sides, with taxi drivers and Uber drivers. Both are Taiwanese.
Taiwan #1 motherfucker！ 老外不意外，我们下次见。不要手势吗？
不要手势，不要手势。
手势不错啦，
手势不错。
我觉得你也左手就好。我们都这样。老外不意外，我们下次见。